Hi guys, how's it going? It's Clarice. I'm just going to do another tutorial with you guys today, and this is going to be on how to do a simple bouquet of flowers or a composition, how to compose a simple bouquet of flowers. And this is essentially what we should be ending with, kind of, sort of, because every time I paint, I kind of get just carried away with where I think things should be placed, so it won't look exactly the same, but the gist of what it would look like is something like this. So we're going to go with the main flowers, the big ones. Then we're going to go with the small flowers that kind of make the big ones pop. And then we're going to go with elements like baby's breath, or just the flowers that really give it, complement the colors in the bouquet overall. And then obviously the foliage with the leaves and stuff like that. All right, guys. Okay, great. So let's get started. If you like my ring, for those of you who don't know, I'm totally a ring person. And this was given to me by my bestie. Isn't it beautiful? It's like made out of stainless steel. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, she has an online store if you guys are interested in jewelry like this. It's Nat & Co. Nat and Accessories. Nat & Co. Accessories, sorry. Yeah, or just like message me if you can't find it. Anyways, let's get started. Turn over the page and just make sure that you can see everything clearly. And for this, I am going to use my silver black velvet brushes in sizes 8 and 4. And so we're going to get started with the centers. And for the centers, you know I always love my yellows and my oranges. And so we're just going to get started with that. Mixing of that first. All right, so let's get started on that. I'm just going to do this. If you've watched any of my other tutorials, you know it's all about the lines, it's all about the pointillism, dot, 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 and just kind of doing a rough center. It doesn't have to be perfect. These are loose flowers we're doing. They're not perfection. Perfection is not something I have time for when it comes to my paintings. I feel like there is beauty in imperfection. And so I'm just going in at the edges with a brown. I don't know if you can clearly see that or not, but that's what I'm doing right now. All right, so something like this. And now I'm going to go and do my petals with the 8. And for this, I am using I will use, let's see. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. I will use pink. Yay! How many of you knew actually knew I was going to use pink? I bet you all of you. You know I love my pinks. I'm actually going to start off, make it darker in the center. All right. And then just dab a little bit of water in there just so it gives you a different variation of the pink. And then I'm going to go in, really saturate this color, and then just to get a lighter effect on the outside. And then you just keep kind of dabbing away. You want it to be loose, you want it to be imperfect. At the same time looking like petals. And it's okay if you touch the darker petals on the inside, so it gives you the bleeding, so the colors bleed and blend which is also something I love to do. Or love seeing in my flowers, rather. I'm just gonna make the insides a little more darker. All right, so that's the main flower, and then I'm going to do another flower. Let's make it purple, and just for variety purposes, let's try, oh, there's no purple roses though, so never mind. Let's just keep going with the peony style flowers. And this time I will do the purple one over here. Just mixing my colors right now, guys. And ready. See that blending of the pink and the purple? Oh, just love it. And so this, I'm going to try and keep a little more white space. Just because you also know how much I love my white space. I just always think it adds so much more to a painting. You have that. Less is more. White space is elegant. Use it. And I will also go in and just do a little more brown. In the center. Okay, and I'm good with that. And I will do the small flowers now. So let me just position this so you can see. I'll do some purple ones right here. Do some of the pink ones over here. Okay, this more purple than pink. Right, and then while taking advantage of that, I'm just going to go in with my greens. And when I have bright colors like this, I really like using the darker greens. But sometimes, because I'm in a rush and I mix my paints as I'm painting, I don't always get the right greens, and so well, I kind of like this green, so I will stick with it. I think it complements things very well. And we're going to do make it a little bit darker. Okay, like a lot darker, because I like the darker colors. Greens, okay. All right, something like that. I'm going to also mix some of the brown in with the green. And these, I'm just going to kind of leave them open, almost like tendrils. I feel like they look so pretty. Oh, I forgot about these at the top. Let's try and get them while they're still damp. Okay, and then let's do flowers like that at the top, and just some foliage with it. And again, I just look at the whole composition as I create, and I kind of try to see what would go well where. And so nothing's really pre-planned. Everything kind of is, I make it up. I wing it as I go along. All right, so we have that going for us. Then I'm going to go ahead and continue with some more foliage around here. And just let that trail off. Do it with a slightly darker. Threw in some brown there. And then, ooh, why does this keep coming up? Then I will do, I feel like there's a lot of pink and purple going on here, so I think I want to add a little more of the yellow, or orange rather. Let's do orange. Let me start off with a purpley. Sorry, this keeps coming up, so I'm just gonna try and put that down. Okay. Started off with a yellowy center, and I'm just gonna go in and create some orange strokes in there and mix up the orange a bit. And just kind of open the palette that we're using here. Bring in some interesting color combinations. So try a couple of different color combinations. For some reason, I always gravitate. I'll start off with pink and I'll swear to myself that, hey, I'm going to try something new. And I always end up with a very similar color palette every single time. But I think it's just my preference. Like I just really gravitate to pinks and purples and stuff like that. So try other ones. I have tried blues, I've tried yellows, I've tried oranges with blues and stuff, and kind of, while they're pretty, they're not exactly something that I'm like, wow, I love it. So I tend to sort of do this instead. So continuing with this, just adding more leaves and foliage. And then towards the edges, you know, make it looser, like let it leave it open-ended. Like it doesn't have to be like a perfect leaf. It could just be like strokes, even just like that, and that's perfectly fine. Even with the, like, I'll just do a couple of buds here. I'm gonna throw in some of the orange, and now that looks really dark because I've mixed it with the green. There we go. Add that in. Sometimes you get interesting effects, so just kind of play around and go with it. Like I just mixed the green with the orange, and look, this is what I got. Did you? Oh, I think you just missed the whole painting of the orange flower. Shoot. Sorry. I'm just gonna add more. Bottom here, and then I will add again, this is up. I'm gonna add it right there. I'm not necessarily giving it green for the stems. I'm just kind of leaving it very orangey. And so I think we have enough flowers going on. So I'm just going to end it off with more foliage all around. Not all around, but where I feel it's needed. Feel free to even like go in really dark between if you feel like it will enhance and bring out some interesting effects. And then I will do, don't have a lot going on up here. And then lastly, this poor orange flower that I have a feeling I was so busy painting that I think you guys missed it because it was out of the screen. And if it was, I'm really sorry. Whoops. Just threw that down. All right, so this is what it looks like. And I wanted to leave a little more white space around, but do you see how it's so easy to sort of lose track of how and where things are? Or at least it is for me. I don't know about you guys, but I fully intended to leave space around, and I've ended up with not a lot of space. It's quite easy to fill up quickly if you're not really looking and engaging. And for me, it's like a race against time to just make sure that while the colors are still wet, I can get in the blending and the bleeding and whatever of the colors. So I'm just gonna go in and do like green baby's breath, kind of raw, very roughly. And do that here as well. I don't know about you guys, but this is something that I find always enhances any artwork. Like the impression of polka dots or just pointillism in any format. This makes it more, it almost gives it that impression that there's a lot of detail in it, but meanwhile it's a very loose style of painting, and so there isn't a lot of detail. It's just kind of faked and done very quickly. So I'm just gonna let that go there and leave it as it is. And so this is the final outcome. Hope you guys have liked it. If you have any questions, please feel free to write me a comment or question, what have you, in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to flash my ring one more time, and we'll chat soon, guys. Bye.